the end of the session.
Oh, yeah.
Just out. And then it's so you set Namu on your left foot.
Now we burn incense in regard to the precepts, meditation, and emancipation. May the light and fragrant cloud of this incense pervade the Dharma world. We offer this incense to the countless Buddhas of the worlds of the 10 directions. May we be able to see, hear, and partake of the fragrance of the wonderful world of tranquil extinction. Good morning, everybody. For coming today. It's a pleasure to see everyone. I'm going to start today's service off with a reading from Spring Writings. We collected writings of Smoko Shonen, our sensei's sensei, Kanjin Sensei's master. And today's reading is called Map of Life. In human life, as in nature, there are many miraculous events, dramatic happenings, and turning points which every person experiences at least once or twice during their lifetime. I would like to talk about one such miraculous experience which I have encountered on my journey in life. One winter, more than 20 years ago, when I had just begun to climb mountains, I decided to go climbing in the mountains by myself. It was an extremely cold winter season and the snow was very heavy. As you know, climbing mountains in the winter is very risky. Every year, climbers lose their lives because of disasters on the mountain. Changing weather, avalanches, falling rocks, frostbites, exhaustion, lack of energy, etc. The mountains hold many unpredictable risks. It is also difficult to predict what will happen on any given day, as climbing schedules often do not go as smoothly as expected. Mountain climbers have to aim for the summit whilst taking into consideration the possibility of accidents and avoiding taking any unnecessary risks along their chosen routes. Their skills in doing this are based on their experience and their knowledge, which they learn over time while climbing mountains. Mountain climbers must be able to adapt to and deal with any situation which may arise. They must have a resilient character and a strong spirit. Only a mountain climber who has mastered this properly will be able to enjoy winter climbing. Character for an adventure rather than being a sport. In order to support a winter mountain climb, the following equipment is required: ice axes, crampons, ropes, harnesses, helmets, carabiners, mittens, etc. Food: dried rice, dried vegetables, dried fruit, cheese, cookies, candy, chocolate, etc. Clothing: chemical fiber underwear, no cotton, woolen sweaters, down, etc. Supplies: a handy stove with propane gas or kerosene, a tent, suitable for winter, and a down sleeping bag. After packing everything in the backpack, the total weight for a winter climb is around 40 kilograms. Sometimes it takes an hour to proceed 100 meters through the deep snow due to the weight of the backpack. Winter climbing in severe weather forces climbers to work hard and demands they eat lots of food. Climbers usually prepare extra food for winter climbing. However, carrying a lot of food makes the backpack heavier, so speed is lost. If they lighten their backpack by carrying less food in order to climb faster, this is very risky because they require food to keep up their strength under any circumstance they may find themselves in. Whichever choice the climber makes depends on their strength and capability. This is the key to a safe climb. That winter, I entered the mountain alone for 1 week of climbing. I should have already mastered my skills and gained climbing experience, but my foolhardiness taught me an important lesson. The first half of the climb progressed smoothly without problems. However, during the second half of the trip, all of a sudden the weather became very severe. Strong winds, spin drift, zero visibility. I went off course many times and it was difficult to proceed. Unfortunately, I consumed my energy quickly and used up all my food sooner than I had allowed for. Gradually, I became more and more hungry and I felt my strength depleted. My hands and feet were heavy and numb. I began to hallucinate. I heard someone calling me from the remoteness of the mountain. "Hello there," I reacted to the call and looked all around, but no one was there. Just the sound of the wind as it traveled between the rugged rocks. After I managed to climb over a rock wall, I saw someone through the blizzard standing on the rock, waving at me in the distance. I approached the rock, but no one was there. Only the branch of a tiny tree moving in the wind. Cold, hungry, tired, and lonely, I had become unstable and was seeing illusions and hallucinating. Fortunately, I still had enough gas to keep warm and was able to make tea. To save my strength, I made as much progress as possible during the daylight hours, and at night I managed my hunger with small portions of tea and candy. I knew that if the situation didn't change sooner or later, I would become another mountain fatality. So I sought to find an escape route. But I could not find it because of the deep snow, blizzards, and whiteouts. Then I aimed for the ridge, following the theory of the mountains. Most mountain climbing fatalities occur because of tiredness and limited strength. A valley which leads them to tragedy. While trying to climb up to a ridge also uses up strength, there is a chance on the ridge to survey the landscape and find a route. Routes lie on the ridge or back of a mountain in winter season in order to prevent the risk of an avalanche or falling rocks. It is uncommon to lay a route through a valley. As I had already lost the route, I didn't know where I was and did not see anything. I aimed for the ridge. Too heavy though, so I threw all the equipment away except for the emergency tent, sleeping bag, and stove. As night approached, I no longer had the strength to erect the tent, so I lay down on the snow behind a rock and covered my body with the tent as a blanket. I fell into a deep sleep and dreamt that I was having a reunion dinner at a restaurant with my friends celebrating our safe return. The cold and hunger soon brought me back to the reality that the mountain was still anchored. As dawn approached, there was still no change, so I once again aimed for the ridge. with only a tiny portion of food which was still in my pocket. My body showed signs of exhaustion. Extreme sleeplessness often attacked me, and I was very thirsty. To quench my thirst. This is the worst possible sign, because while the snow on the one hand quickly satisfied my thirst, it would also remove the heat from my body. I would become more thirsty later on. I knew that doing this would be dangerous, both mentally and physically. Sleepiness attacked me again and again, more deeply each time, and told me that I would freeze to death. The reason why sleepiness comes so often and repeatedly is because it is an order from the body forcing you to sleep and save the absolute minimum of energy required for survival. If I ate some food for energy just before sleeping, the body would produce heat with the food to maintain the body, but if I ate no food, the energy would run out of the body temperature, would come down slowly and end in death. It is just like a candle. Once the wax is melted, the light automatically extinguishes itself. At last, I fell down on the snow, exhausted, and with what little strength I had left, managed to take a couple of candies from my pocket, place them in my mouth, and fall asleep. I woke after a momentary sleep. The environment had not changed. I began to climb again, but soon felt chilly. My body shivered vigorously, and I crouched down on the spot. My head felt fuzzy. I could not think, and I lay down, face down in the snow. My legs, hands, head, and body felt extremely heavy. Just like a car, when it runs out of fuel, there was no energy left in my body to manipulate my body parts. I somehow managed to take the last of the chocolate from my pocket, and with all my might placed it in my mouth. After almost 30 minutes had passed, I began to feel the chocolate transforming into heat, and I had the sense to raise my body. I could feel my strength returning. Once again, I rose and walked, and for some mysterious reason, I no longer felt sleepy. But after what felt like maybe 30 minutes, just as before, the strong desire to sleep and the heaviness attacked me again, and I crouched down and lay in the wet snow one more time. I often think now that I was just like a toy whose battery was running low. It was dark when I awoke. I couldn't hear the whistle of the wind. I couldn't hear the whistle of the wind through the rocks or feel the snow blowing. It was a silent night. I tried desperately to open my eyes, but I couldn't. They were just too heavy. I tried to move my body, but I couldn't, and I had no sense of feeling. For a split second, I thought, have I died? Then I sensed the rustling of a bird in the far distance. I noticed the mountain was under the mantle of a silent and gentle night. Though I could not open my eyes, I felt the light of the moon. The moonlight reflected on the snow, and I felt as though it were a white night. Miraculously, at that time, I could hear very sensitively. I heard a gentle breeze going through the branches of the trees and dropping powdered snow from the leaves. My sense of smell was also very acute. I could smell cedar, so I thought that maybe cedar trees were around me. I could smell the snow, even though I knew snow had no scent. I no longer felt chilly, cold, or fearful. I only felt calm under the moonlight. In an emergency situation, the human body reacts to maintain the body and preserve life as its priority. To save energy and to maintain life as long as possible, the body automatically turns off the switches of its non-essential functions. It is said that the body first turns off the function of physical movement, and finally the remaining sensory functions, which are the nose and the ears. At that moment, I thought, I'm going to have to die. But I did not feel any fear or anxiety. I said to myself, my life was short, my life was empty. I would like to be reborn a better person in my next life. Things which I had done in the past and regretted were recalled to my mind as quote flashbacks in time. I had no recollection of the amount of time that had passed. I heard a sound which seemed far, far away. It sounded like tapping. Tap, 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 tap. I thought to myself, who would be tapping in such a remote mountain? I listened closely and heard the detail. It was a familiar sound, one which I had used to hear from the moksho, a wooden drum which the Nichiren ministers played while they chanted the sutra of the old Daimoku. Tap, 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 tap. The sound became louder and clearer. Tap, 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 tap. As I closed my eyes, I thought, at last, the messenger has come to welcome me to the spirit world. This. I remember the feeling of floundering in the snow as I listened to the sound and then silence. I did not remember anything after that. When I awoke, I was in a bed in a small lodge. An elderly couple that lived in the lodge had rescued and nursed me. According to the couple at nighttime, as they were preparing for their trip down the mountain for the next day, they heard a knock at the door. When they opened it, I was lying in the snow in front of their doorway. They were shocked and quickly rushed me inside and put me in their bed to make my whole body warm again. The elderly couple who were the owners of the lodge had opened the lodge for the mountain climbers to celebrate the new year in the mountain. Normally, they would have closed the lodge by now, but due to a severe snowstorm, they had to stay in the lodge for an extra 5 days. 9 days had passed since I entered the mountains. I explained my experience to the couple in detail and asked about the tapping sound during the night. But the couple said that they did not hear any tapping noise and that they also had not made any tapping noise. They listened to my story with great interest and then said, "How lucky you are to be alive." Even to this day, I do not know what the sound was or where it came from, but I realized that someone had led me and saved me with that sound. During my years of being a mountain climber, after that, many things occurred. I lost many friends in the mountains. I gradually began to recognize the idea of becoming a minister was growing on me. 13 years had passed since the tapping sound experience. While sorting through mountain pictures, I came across a picture of 5 climbers who were celebrating summiting a mountain. We were all smiling and posing with pride as we stood on the top. I began to look at the picture more closely and realized that except for me, all the climbers had died in the mountains. At that moment, I made up my mind to become a minister, not out of obligation or duty, but spontaneously, because I knew in my mind that that was what I was intended to do. I felt a tremendously peaceful and calm feeling come over me, and I knew then that it was the Buddha who would save me with the tapping sound wouldn't come. The Buddha has always watched over me. These are the Buddha's words. I expound various teachings to all living beings according to their capacities. I am always thinking, how shall I cause all living beings to enter into the unsurpassed way that they become Buddhas? Lotus Sutra, chapter 16. It seemed to take many long hours for me to reach the final summit, and I took many detours and wasted a lot of time before becoming a minister. Had I been more obedient and faithful, I would not have had to take so many detours, but because I was stubborn and foolish, I needed the practice of taking detours. Life is like an adventure, carrying a heavy backpack. We have no idea what tomorrow will bring. Sometimes we lose our way and do not know where we are and where we are going because of the heavy backpack. Therefore, we require a map of our life's adventure. Look at all the miraculous happenings or turning points which pop up on the map of life. Those are the instructions given at the right time in order for you to understand the map properly. How we understand the instructions and reflect always requires an obedient and faithful mind. The instructions are a message for our mind to look carefully over the map of life and know which route we should take. So again, recently I've been talking about the Lotus Sutra is a recontextualization of life. Because once you've been exposed to the Lotus Sutra, you're assured of becoming a Buddha. Therefore, that means that all of the trials and tribulations that you are experiencing in your life are all absolutely necessary for you to attain enlightenment, for you to actualize the becoming of a Buddha. Which also means that everything that led you to this point is also part of your journey leading you towards enlightenment. So that's why we say this is the pure life right here, right now. That's why in Buddhism we don't push away life and say, oh, well, if it was just like this, or if I was just like this. We accept that we are all works in progress and that this circuitous route that leads us to these places of understanding are necessary. Yes, we could have done it a little bit faster. We could have been more diligent. We could have been more patient. But we weren't, because that wasn't part of our journey. This is, whatever this is. And the reminder that this journey, that we are on, this thing that we think that we're achieving, this enlightenment, it is not for us. It is for others. Buddhism is the relentless pursuit of self-betterment for the benefit of other beings. Otherwise, it becomes arrogance. Otherwise, we become so good that we are better now than everybody else. And we forget that we are just like everybody else. But the only way to be there for other people is to have daily practice. Is to do it every day, even if it's just one chant every day when you wake up in the morning, one chant before bed. It's that affirmation that comes in the 16th chapter of the Lotus Sutra that says, all Buddhas think of only one thing. How can I cause all sentient beings to enter into the unsurpassed way and quickly become Buddhas? Just enter the way. So that's called the bodhicitta, the inspiration for enlightenment. That's all you really need. That starts the ball rolling and will eventually lead to enlightenment. I've been recently listening to a lot of the Buddha's early sutras, an audiobook, and the one thing that he keeps pointing out is that the one thing that's worth more than billions and billions of dollars and pounds and titles and everything is one act of loving kindness. One act of loving kindness is what will help assure you of enlightenment. Just one. Whatever it is. It may be as simple as you go to place your foot down and you see an end and you just put it slightly to the side. That is an act of loving kindness. That is a reflection of your Buddha nature, right there. And it's at least a start. So today, we're going to do service in English. And I want you to think about the words. As we go through chapter 2 is talking about the fact that life is a constantly changing, ever-evolving thing. That we perceive that the world's all messed up. But in actuality, it's fine as it is, and that we're constantly cycling. And that it's very difficult to understand the causes and conditions of everything, their experiences, their natures, their feelings as such. It's really difficult to know all of them, but they're all intertwined. Chapter 16 assures us of enlightenment. When we do the invocation, we are inviting all of the spirits to come to this place and share in the Dharma. Because again, the Dharma isn't just for human beings, right? It's not about gods per se, it's for all beings. Even deities, even spirits, if they exist, exhibit aspects of passion, love, anger, all these things that only last a certain period of time, and therefore we attach to them. And they need to fully know the Dharma just the same. So we can passionately offer the Dharma to them as well. So let's start with just a little bit of silent meditation, just to center ourselves in the moment. Dojo gate. Aji dojo. Please open your blue books to page 5. Invocation. Honor be to the great mandala, the perfect circle of all honorable ones revealed by our founder Nichiren Shonin. Honor be to the eternal Buddha, Sakyamuni, our original teacher, the Lord of the Dharma, our great benefactor who retained enlightenment in the remotest past. Honor be to the Sutra of the Lotus Flower of the wonderful Dharma, the teaching of equality, the great wisdom, the one vehicle. Honor be to our founder, the great Bodhisattva Nichiren Shonin, dispatched by our original Buddha. Honor be to Renge Ajari Nichiji Shonin, the first overseas missionary. Honor be to the protective deities of the Dharma. We honor all of you. May you come to this consecrated place out of your compassion towards us. See us with the light of your wisdom and accept our offering of chanting the sutra and Please turn to page 9. They really think about the meaning of each word. Verses for opening the sutra. The most profound and wonderful teaching is presented in this sutra. This sutra is difficult to meet even once in thousands and millions of aeons. Now we have been able to see, hear, receive, and keep this sutra. May we understand the most excellent teaching of the Tathagata. The most excellent teaching of the great vehicle is very difficult for us to understand. We shall be able to approach enlightenment when we see, hear, or touch this sutra. Expounding is the Buddha's wisdom. Expounded is the Buddha's truth. The letters composing this sutra are the Buddha's manifestation. Just as perfume is caught by something put nearby, so shall we be richly benefited by this sutra, even when we are not aware of being so benefited, because infinite merits are accumulated in this sutra. We can expiate our past transgressions, do good deeds, and attain Buddhahood by the merits of this sutra. It does not matter whether we are wise or not, or whether we believe the sutra or slander it. This sutra is the most wonderful and most excellent taught by the Buddhas of the past, present, and future. May we need to receive it, birth after birth, world after world. Please turn to page 15. The Sutra of the Lotus Flower of the Wonderful Dharma, Chapter 2, Expedients. There upon the world honored one emerged quietly from his samadhi and said to Shari Buddha, the wisdom of the present Buddha is profound and immeasurable. The gate to it is difficult to understand and difficult to enter. Their wisdom cannot be understood by any Sravaka or Pratyeka Buddha, because the present Buddhas ascended on many hundreds of thousands of billions of past Buddhas and practiced the innumerable teachings of those Buddhas bravely and strenuously to their far-flung fame until they attained the profound Dharma which you have never heard before and became Buddhas, and also because since they became Buddhas they have been
been expounding the Dharma according to the capacities of all living beings in such various ways that the true purpose of their various teachings is difficult to understand. Sariputra, since I became a Buddha, I also have been expounding various teachings with various stories of previous lives and various parables, and with various similes. I have been leading all living beings with innumerable expedients in order to save them from various attachments, because I have the power to employ expedients and the power to perform the paramita of insight. Sariputra, the inside of the Tathagatas is wide and deep. The Tathagatas have all the states of mind towards innumerable living beings, unhindered eloquence, powers, fearlessness, dhyana, concentrations, emancipations, and samadhi. They enter deep into boundlessness and attain the Dharma which you have never heard before. Sariputra, the Tathagatas divide the Dharma into various teachings and expound those teachings to all living beings so skillfully and with such gentle voices that living beings are delighted. Sariputra, in short, the Buddha's attaining innumerable teachings which you have never heard before. No more Sariputra will I say, because the Dharma attained by the Buddhas is the highest truth, rare to hear and difficult to understand. Only the Buddhas attain the highest truth, that is the reality of all things in regard to their appearances, as such their natures, as such their entities, as such their powers, as such their activities, as such their primary causes, as such their environmental causes, as such their effects, as such their rewards and retributions, as such and their equality, as such. Despite these differences, that is the reality of all things in regard to their appearances, as such their natures, as such their entities, as such their powers, as such their activities, as such their primary causes, as such their environmental causes, as such their effects, as such their rewards and retributions, as such and their equality, as such. Despite these differences, that is the reality of all things in regard to their appearances, as such their natures, as such their entities, as such their powers, as such their activities, as such their primary causes, as such their environmental causes, as such their effects, as such their rewards and retributions, as such and their equality, as such. Despite these differences.
Please turn to page 40. The Sutra of the Lotus Flower of the Wonderful Dharma, Chapter 16, the duration of the life of the Tathagata. It always many hundreds of thousands of
billions of trillions of asankayas of helpless since I became the Buddha. For the past innumerable helpless, I have always been expounding the Dharma to many hundreds of millions of living beings in order to lead them into the way to Buddha. But in order to save the perverted people, I expediently show my nirvana to them. In reality, I shall never pass away. I always live here and expound the Dharma, although I always live here with the perverted people. I disappear from their eyes by my supernatural powers. When they see me seemingly pass away and make offerings to my sabiras and adore me, admire me, and become devout, upright, and gentle, and wish to see me with all their hearts at the cost of their lives, I reappear on Mount Sacred Eagle with my sangha and say to them, I always live here, I shall never be extinct. I show my extinction to you expediently, although I never pass away. I also expound the unsurpassed Dharma to the living beings of the other worlds. If they respect me, believe me, and wish to see me, you have never heard this, therefore you thought that I pass away. I see the perverted people sinking in an ocean of suffering, therefore I disappear from their eyes and cause them to admire me. When they adore me, I appear and expound the Dharma to them. I can do all this by my supernatural powers. I live on the sacred eagle and also in the other abodes, for Asankaya Kalpas. The perverted people think this world is in a great fire. The end of the Kalpa of destruction is coming. In reality, this world of mine is peaceful. It is filled with gods and men. The gardens, forests, and stately buildings are adorned with various treasures. The jewel trees have many flowers and fruits. The living beings are enjoying themselves, and the gods are beating heavenly drums, making various kinds of music and ringing mandala flowers on the great multitude. And this pure world of mine is indestructible, but the perverted people think it is full of sorrow, fear, and other sufferings. It will soon burn away because of their evil karmas. These sinful people will not be able to hear even the names of the three treasures during the Sankaya Kalpas. To those who have accumulated merits and who are gentle and upright and who see me living here expounding the Dharma, I say the duration of my life is immeasurable. To those who see me after a long time, I say it is difficult to see a Buddha. I can do all this by the power of my wisdom. The light of my wisdom knows no bound. The duration of my life is innumerable. Helpless by obtained longevity by ages of practice. So all of you wise men have no doubts about this. Remove your doubts, have no more. My words are true, not false. The position you sent a man expediently to tell his perverted sons of the death of their father in order to pure and was not accused of falsehood, although he was still alive in the same manner. I am the Father of the world. I am saving all living beings from suffering because they are perverted. I say that I shall pass away, although I shall not. If they always see me, they will become arrogant and licentious and cling to the five desires so much that they will fall into the evil region. I know who is practicing the way and who is not. Therefore I expound various teachings to all living beings according to their capacities. I am always singing, how shall I cause all living beings to enter into the unsurpassed way, and quickly become Buddhas.
Verse 49. The Sutra of the Lotus Flower of the Wonderful Dharma, Chapter 21, the Supernatural Powers of the Tathagata. The Buddhas, the world saviors, have great
supernatural powers. They display their immeasurable supernatural powers in order to cause all living beings to rejoice. Angels suffer from future heaven around, and innumerable rays of light are emitted from their bodies for those who are seeking the enlightenment of the Buddha. The Buddhas do these things rarely to be seen. The sound of offering of the Buddhas and the sound of their fingers snapping reverberate over the world of the 10 quarters, and the round of those were placed in the 6 days. The Buddhas joyfully display their immeasurable supernatural powers because the Bodhisattvas from underground got to keep the sutra after my extinction. Even if I pray for innumerable kalpas, the keeper of this sutra, to whom it is to be transmitted, I cannot praise him highly enough. His merits are as limitless, as infinite, as boundless as the skies of the world of the 10 quarters. Anyone who keeps this sutra will be able to see me. He also will be able to see many treasures. Buddha, the Buddhas of my replicas, and the Bodhisattvas whom I have taught today. Anyone who keeps this sutra will be able to cause me to rejoice. He also will be able to bring joy to the Buddhas of my replicas, and also to many treasures. Buddha who once passed away, he also will be able to see the present, past, and future Buddhas of the world of the 10 quarters, in offering to them and cause them to rejoice. The Buddhas sat at the place of enlightenment and obtain the hidden core. Anyone who keeps this sutra will be able to obtain the same before long. Anyone who keeps this sutra will be able to expound the meanings of the teachings and the names and words of this sutra. Their eloquence will be as boundless and as unhindered as a wind in the sky. Anyone who understands why the Buddhas expound many sutras, who knows the position of this sutra in the series of sutras, and who expounds it after my extinction according to its true meaning, will be able to eliminate the darkness of the living beings of the world, where he walks about the sense of light of the sun and the moon. He eliminates all darkness. He will be able to cause innumerable bodhisattvas to go finally in no one vehicle. Therefore, a man of wisdom who gives a man of wisdom these merits.
first page, page 59. We will chant from 59 to 61. The triple world, from chapter 3, a parable. The triple world is not peaceful, it is like a burning house, it is full of sufferings, it is dreadful, there are always some sufferings of birth, old age, disease, and death. They are like flames raging endlessly. I have already left the burning house of the triple world. I am tranquil and peace. In the forest, the triple world is my property. All living beings therein are my children. There are many sufferings in this world. Only I can save all living beings. Dispatch of monks and nuns from chapter 10. The teacher of the Dharma. I will manifest the four kinds of devotees. Bhikshus, and men and women of your faith, and dispatch them to him so that they may make offerings to him, and that they may be many living beings, collecting them to hear the Dharma from him. If he is hated and threatened with swords like snarl pieces or stones, I will manifest men and dispatch them to him in order to protect him. The appearance of a stupa from chapter 11, beholding the stupa of treasures thereupon, a loud voice of great pleasure from within the stupa of treasures. Excellent, excellent, you Shakyamuni, the world-honored one, have expounded to this great multitude the sutra of the lotus flower of the wonderful Dharma, the teaching of equality, the great wisdom, the Dharma for Bodhisattvas, the Dharma upheld by the Buddha. So it, what you Shakyamuni, the world honored one, have expounded is all true. Turn to page 62. I will read the Unso, the devotion. We will use for inspiration before we chant the old Namu. The wonderful truth expounded in the Lotus Sutra, whose old Namu we now chant, is what the past Buddhas taught, the present Buddhas are teaching, and the future Buddhas shall teach. It is the great Dharma, true and pure, the propagation of which was transmitted primarily to Bodhisattva Jogyo by the Buddha on Mount Sacred Eagle. Once we chant Namu Myo Renge Kyo, we shall attain the right view that the 3,000 worlds exist in our minds just as they are. The pure land of tranquil light shall be made manifest in our sight, and together with all other beings we shall enjoy visiting the land of truth. May the sound of our chanting the old Daimoku permeate the whole world, be offered to the three treasures, and be bestowed on all beings. May all beings enter the world of the one reality, the great vehicle. May the Buddha land be adorned, and all beings favored with the merits of our chanting. We will offer incense during chanting of the old Daimoku. Namu Renge Kyo, 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 Namu The difficulty of retaining the sutra. From chapter 11, Beholding the Stupa of Treasures.
It is difficult to keep this sutra. I shall be glad to see anyone reading it even for a moment. So will all the other Buddhas. He will be praised by all the Buddhas. He will be a man of valor, a man of endeavor. He shall be considered to have already observed the precepts and practice of Buddha. He will quickly attain the unsurpassed enlightenment of the Buddha. Anyone who reads and recites this sutra in the future is a true son of mine. He shall be considered to live on the stage of purity and good. Anyone after my execution who understands the meaning of this sutra will be the eye of the world of God and man. Anyone who expounds this sutra even for a moment in this dreadful world should be honored with offerings by all gods and men.
Page 68. Golden chain. I am a link in Lord Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds. No matter what I do now depends on my happiness and misery. May every link in Lord Buddha's golden chain of love become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Page 71, please. Re-echo. If you have juzu, please put the 3 tassels on the left side, cross them, and bring your hands in Dashwa. We respectfully dedicate all our merits now gathered to the great benevolent teacher, Shakyamuni, the eternal Buddha, to the supreme teaching, the Lotus Sutra, to the leader of the declining latter age of the Dharma, our founder, the great Bodhisattva Nichiren Shonin, and to the protective deities of the Dharma. May all beings under the heavens and within the 4 seas live in accordance with the wonderful Dharma. May the wonderful Dharma spread throughout the 10,000 years of the declining latter age of the Dharma. May we realize this world is the eternal Buddha's pure land. May peace permeate all the world and all beings enjoy peace and happiness. May all beings live in safety and live long without misfortune. May the peace and happiness last forever and all beings be prosperous. We pray that all beings awaken to the true nature of reality, which is the Buddha Dharma. May all sentient beings of all realms be helped equally, overcome suffering, and gain the happiness of blissful liberation through the merits of following the teachings of the Lotus Sutra. We pray for the spirits of our ancestors and for all the spirits of the universe. We especially pray for those in sickness and distress. We pray for Kelly and Damian Reddick, Renee Hardaway, Wendy Prevost, Jessica Jones, Jason Wellman, Nadine Morsch, Dirk Patton, Kevin Hampton, Jesse Schaefer, Lotus Meshi, Linda Williams, Cindy Smith, Julia Ann Laverne, Rodney Shepard, Rose Addison, Carmen Laverne, Lisa Simmons, Ken Lawrenson, Lucille Bragg, Gail Bull, Renee Hardaway, Martin Hardaway, Joshua Davis, and President Trump. We also remember those in memoriam. We remember Amy and Maria Valentin, Elaine and Joe Winter, CP and Augustus Kroll, Albert Rivas, Shay, Michi, Stella, Scoop, Ali, and Huso, Jack Parker, Bill Neer Sensei, Terry Paquin, Hazuko Jordan, Cheryl Cushman, Aunt Barbara, Wayne, Jean Knott, Deidre Hossett, Cheryl Sissy Jones, Michael Maffei, Diane Dolan, Jez Apple, Jack Lipson, Peter Danuski, Ronnie Yogetsu Selden, Janie Peterson, Destiny Williams, and the victims of the London massacres. May we purify our minds, limit our desires, and learn to be content. Feel free to experience the quiet, unassuming joys of life, and learn to abandon all attachments formed in the mind. It is my personal wish to bring merit to this Sangha and to the city of Rochester, that everyone in it may reach their highest potential. That we pray for those who have no one to pray for themselves, and we pray for all of those who need help. With this prayer, we endeavor to increase our understanding and appreciation of what others have given and contributed to us, and to develop constant, mindful consideration of how our thoughts and actions will beneficially contribute to others. Namu We're going to page 77 and 78. Shiyu Seigan, the four great vows. Ujo Muhin Seigando.
Sentient beings are innumerable. I vow to save them all.
Onno Mushu Seigandan.
Our divides are inexhaustible. I vow to quench them all.
Onno Nujin Seiganchi.
The Buddha's teachings are immeasurable. I vow to know them all.
Utsudo Mujo Seiganjo.
The way of the Buddha is unexcelled. I vow to attain the path sublime.
With this body.
Until I attain Buddhahood, I shall uphold my faith in the Lotus Sutra. Namu Enkyoji. Namu
Venerable, tremendous. Be where you like it from beginning of the passion. This is your name to Hope High Joey. Cosmic Realm Media. The end as we began for someone else. Jinshi. Thank you all very much. for coming. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for sharing. We have lunch afterwards. Mr. President, are there any announcements for the Sangha or the temple?
No announcements. The only thing that I did want to emphasize actually is that we have First Friday coming up, the first Friday of July,
Yes.
which is July.
First Friday.
First Friday in July, which I believe is.
It will be the 8th.
July 8th, okay.
Okay, so July 8th, we will have First Friday, so anyone who wishes to come and volunteer or just come and enjoy the wonderful building, swing by and say howdy. That's a good number too.
And at that July 1st Friday, we're also planning on having a what is called in Japan, I guess, a ginza, essentially like a yard sale, if you will.
So yes.
Of various items that we've accumulated over the years, and the benefits of that yard sale, or what we get from that donation-wise, is going to go towards helping provide supplies to our sister sangha in Nepal, which is the homeland of the Buddha.
Yes,
And so they need books and supplies just as much as we do, and so we want to provide whatever we raise money-wise from that. We want to provide to that sangha.
Starting this coming week and all the way up till First Friday, July the 8th, please. 7. Please, yes, ma'am.
July 1st is Saturday. July. So it's the 7th. Yeah, so it is the 7th.
So 7th of July.
Because I can't read a calendar.
So start bringing things that you feel might go good for garage sale type stuff. What we're asking is, because we don't have lots of storage spaces, go ahead and bring them. We'll store them. We'll do the selling on the first Friday. It's going to literally be like, what do you want to offer? Or $2. I mean, literally like a yard sale type of thing. And then all we ask is that what doesn't sell, if you don't mind, take it back, or put it in a box and store the box till our next one. And we will take all the proceeds and we will donate them and buy items for our Nepal Sangha, which, as Nathan pointed out, or Zenshin pointed out, is the birthplace of it. And he is from, it's in Kathmandu, so it's actually the birthplace. So it's awesome. Thank you all very much.
And then also, obviously, as well as bringing items, although I think we do have some items in storage, but if you have things that you want to bring, that's great. But more than that, just if you want to get the word out of like, there's a yard sale, could be some good stuff.
Yeah.
It could be some really good deals. So let people know it's going to a good cause, and also it helps us get rid of good but superfluous things.
Yes, yes. But it gets them in the right hands. It's in people's hands who will use them, for sure. All right, now if everyone just help pull up the chairs, we'll take our picture and we'll have lunch.
But do leave some chairs out so we can sit down.
Yes, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, a dozen chairs can stay out. What's your name? John? John, did you go to Wilson? I remember you, Johnny. You had a tightest relationship with me when you were a kid in art class. You did not like me at all. I'm Mr. Brooks. You remember me from Wilson Foundation? You were I taught you in 7th and 8th grade art. It's all good. Like, we're fine. I remember you specifically. I've always wondered how you were doing. It's good to know that you're doing well. This is great. Small world, right? You never know who you're going to meet.
I knew I did not come.
All right, so let's line up for a picture. All right, let's all line up. We'll take our picture for the day. James.
It was like a false alarm. Thankfully, it was not.
It's good. It's brief. It's great.